years, I've had some comparisons with my voice and Chris Cornell's voice. I've had people all the time, even if I'm not deliberately trying to sound like Soundgarden or Chris Cornell or Audioslave in a video where I do a song in the style of different artists. It's obviously a very big compliment because I believe Chris is one of the greatest rock vocalists of all time. There is a lot of reasons why. There is so much nuance. There's so many characteristics of his voice. There's so many dimensions and layers. And there's a lot of charisma, and that's what makes him one of the greatest. However, I would never say that about myself. I don't say, if someone tells me I sound like Chris Cornell, I take it with a grain of salt. I accept compliments, but I never let things get to my head because I know better. That's an earned title to be one of the greatest vocalists of all time, and it's tried and tested through years of experience and being on the road since you were a teenager and playing thousands of shows. That's where you really get to see a true test of a vocalist and a performer. And it's not even just a test. That's where vocalists and performers are made. Now, I want to analyze what I think is one of Chris's hardest songs, Cochise. I'm picking this song because Chris Cornell, when he recorded this song, at the time, he was around my age right now. And he wasn't the 20-year-old wailing high, super high and bright high notes, constantly wailing vocalist anymore. He was different now. There was wear and tear. And, what I love about it is that he had to take a different approach to singing at the time. There were personal struggles. He was going through recovery. It was just a lot. There was a lot going on. So you can tell he sounds a little bit different. But I actually can learn a lot, and I have been lately. And every once in a while, I will listen to Chris Cornell sing, and I'll go into acapellas, and I'll go into live performances to teach me something about pacing, because he was a master at that. He was the type of vocalist that if he had a bad day, he was able to make it work. He was able to work with what he had always. He defined his voice within that. He made new definitions of his voice with new eras of his career by using what he had, when he had it. So I want to play the first verse and then go to a live version and then listen to the acapella. So I listened to that and I'm like, okay, to me that it has a very kind of like almost like an AC/DC Brian Johnson like effect. I've been watching, like right here, kind of existed in that area, but without trying to get all of the rasp all at once, just really, well, I've been watching while you've been not sure. Well, I've been drinking life. I know it doesn't sound perfect. It doesn't really even sound that good, but that's the idea. It's just like playing around in that little area where it's like, hear that? Now that's just like the kind of fry, but it's in there somewhere, like right there. Oh no, I've been watching. Oh, like oh, moving the note in the back. Well, I've been watching what you've been know. That's the idea. So if I had to do it with like, I don't know, the instrumental. So I'm not a martyr. Now the one thing, what I've noticed, to take it out of me, sometimes that E after you've really used support in that higher area is a little rough. It was even rough for Chris Cornell to hit that all the time. So you notice that he modified to "Take it out on me, May" a lot of the time. You need to really press down on your breath and use your support sparingly. But for the most part, you're in this place. Oh, that's just fine now. Oh, it's very light. It's like if you go, one thing that I can offer. That's a little bit more exaggerated, but you see, that coordination, that's where it is. It's almost... It's like it's so light, but when you put it in the context of everything, it sounds pretty damn good. So, or I mean, I don't sound good right now, but it sounds okay. So now I want to listen to it live. This right here is where you really learn what's going on. Because, you know, in the studio, anybody and everybody will go 100% and they'll comp vocals and they'll do one line at a time and get their best take. Live, you cannot afford to do that. And this is a great example. He's singing very light. And, you know, with the mix of everything, you hear a little grit in there, but it's pacing. So the big part of this song that we all know is that the famous part of the song is the scream. That is after 2 verses, 2 choruses, a little bridge in where there's some lower singing, and then it's the scream that goes on for about 10 seconds. I'm going to give myself some lead in and try to do this. I'm not going to put any reverb. I'm going to take it from the second verse into the scream. Drown if you want, and I'll see you at the bottom where you crawl under my skin and put the blame on me so you don't feel a thing. By the way, before singing vocals like this, it is important to warm your voice up. So I created a free vocal warm-ups course, how to warm up to sing anything you want. So if you want to explore the capabilities within your voice and learn to warm up for free with me, I put the link directly below in the description and in the pinned comment. Yeah, so that scream, from what I hear, that scream is a natural thing that almost happens. You almost have to be a little fatigued for it to happen. Because it's like you're over here and you're on the... He's already kind of playing with this little area right here. It's almost like it starts to happen when your support gives out a little bit. You're already kind of playing with it because you're in this like scratchy area. And by the way, I don't feel any tickle whatsoever in my throat right now. You can tell, like, my voice is not affected. There's no, like, my voice doesn't sound hoarse. I'm not cracking. That's when you know you have it in the right place. If you start feeling like a tickle, like, you know, you're probably hitting it. You're not hitting it the right way. and you got to play around with it, back off, and you might even need to call it a day in practicing this. But if you were doing anything similar to this, very difficult to do, even here in the studio, let alone being on stage to do it. And that's something that I really like to see live videos, because it's not that I want to prove that singers can't do what they do in studio. It's that I want to see a live version of how it's doable on stage. Now, I know some people, I see some people talk about live performances and they're like, damn, this singer sounds exactly like they do on record. It's amazing. Personally, I like it better when the singer doesn't sound exactly like they do on the record, because that's proof. Like if they sound just like the record, then I might as well listen to the record. But if they're live and you're getting a live feel where there's some things that they sang differently, they took the vocal differently, like there's more involved there. There's an actual communication happening between, even if it's not directly to you, but between the performer and the audience. And there's adrenaline involved, there's sweat, it's just not perfect. The vocal's not perfect. It shouldn't be, because otherwise, it wouldn't be human. Especially in a live environment where, this is rock and roll. It's fucking supposed to be high energy. So like watching him do the live videos, because I tend to like them a little bit more. See, that's what I'm talking about, live vocals. Bottom where you crawl. That's fucking awesome. You don't hear that kind of shit in the album. It's like this is like the whole, All my skin, put the blame on, so you don't feel See what I'm saying is like that right there. There was some echo that made the tail of that longer, probably half or 3/4 of the length of the scream in the original recording, but it was beautifully clean and perfect for a live performance, And I'm sure there are some other performances where he hits it even longer, And this is the thing about the voice, is that it's you really should look at how professionals do it. And there's plenty of videos out there. Obviously, it is great, don't get me wrong, to watch voice teachers and to break down techniques. But sometimes you have to let the technique talk, okay, kind of go somewhere in your subconscious where your mind is subconsciously using it, but you're not making it the focus of your singing. You got to watch singers who are out there doing it. And you got to see... and you got to hear and listen and get to know while you hear someone sing, and you have to get to know what that feels like in your own voice. So you have to try some things out, even if you sound like shit at first. And then eventually, you'll understand. You'll look at something and it'll click. It'll click when you see a live video. And there's plenty of examples of this for free on YouTube. You can watch many live videos. And my advice, obviously, do more listening for a while. That's what I'm kind of like. I have a tendency of like, I'll hear a song and I'll try to do it. I know I do this a lot for my channel. It's because I do it a lot for my, part of what I do here is I take vocal challenges. So immediately if I hear a voice, I want to parrot that and see if I can do it. Maybe not so much on this channel because I interrupt a lot. Wink, wink. But while I'm listening to music in the car, or if I'm on YouTube watching shit where I'm not filming it for a video, I've been listening a lot more. So like, and then the live version, he goes right back into singing the chorus. See, right there too, it's like, there's a little space, and he's got to get back into, he's got to make sure that coordination that he's got to do in the chorus is still there. But, a lot of this stuff, it's second nature to a singer that's been doing this for years, I I noticed that top note right there is still kind of in that scream because, it's live, and I'm sure there's a little bit of might be a little gassed, because sometimes that'll happen. You can actually activate that scream a little bit more when you're kind of a little tight over there. But it works because it's the energy's up. It's good energy. It sounds good. Doesn't sound exactly like the album, but it sounds good. I do this because obviously this is like all the thoughts that I have in my process when I learn and perfect a style of singing that I can use both in my own music or in stuff that I do here on this channel. And it's just, it's useful because it just becomes a part of your repertoire. And the more you learn, the more you try some things out, the more expansive your range becomes, and not so much in a way that I don't like to look at range as low note, high note. I like to look at all the in-between and the textures. So before singing vocals like this, it is important to warm your voice up. So I created a free vocal warm-ups course, how to warm up to sing anything you want. So if you want to explore the capabilities within your voice and learn to warm up for free with me, I put the link directly below in the description and in the pinned comment. Let me know what other songs, what other vocal lines you want to hear me break down and talk about. There's more on this channel than just these types of videos. I got cover songs. I have original music that I'm working on. There's a lot of stuff. So subscribe, press get notifications, and see what's up here. Take care.